Coming up, major trading partnership. Find out what contributed to a sharp increase in trade between Kazakhstan and Georgia in the material of our correspondent. Unenviable 33rd place in urban pollution rating. What's being done to improve the negative impact on the environment in Kazakhstan? Learn more tonight. Panda Bing Duen Duen. Souvenirs with the symbol of the Winter Olympics are instantly sold out in Beijing. Stay tuned. Kazakhstan is among the top 10 key trading partners of Tatarstan. The trade turnover between the countries is growing annually, and in just 11 months of 2021, it amounted to $557 million. At the same time, the parties are interested in increasing the volume of mutual trade to $1 billion per year. Kazakhstan supplies oil and petroleum products, batteries, starch and butter to Tatarstan and imports refrigerators, heat pumps, polyesters, resins, polycarbonates. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev pays working visit to Kazan now. The program of the visit of the Kazakh president to Tatarstan began with a visit to the State Historical, Architectural and Art Museum Reserve Kazan Kremlin, where he was accompanied by President of the country Rustam Minikhanov. Kazakhstan exports petroleum products, wheat, aluminium, ferroalloys and rails to Georgia, while importing tea, freight and tram cars and other products from Georgia. Over the past 15 years, the mutual trade turnover has increased by 150%. Only last year, it grew by 30% compared to 2020. And this is not the limit. This was stated at a roundtable in Tbilisi. The parties also talked about political stability, which is the key in the development of strategic economic ties and the expansion of cooperation areas. Ambassador of Kazakhstan informed the Georgian side about the measures taken in Kazakhstan to stabilize the situation and the new reforms being carried out, and also thanked for the help during the January events.
В эти сложные дни в Грузии оказалось более 700 человек, которые не смогли улететь в Казахстан.
During these difficult days, there were about 700 people in Georgia who could not fly to Kazakhstan. Ordinary people of Georgia showed very vital assistance to all these people. No one was left without attention. As soon as the flights were restored, all our citizens flew to their homes. This once again shows that traditionally friendly relations have existed, exist, and will continue to exist between our peoples, between Georgia and Kazakhstan.
Существовали, существуют и будут существовать традиционно дружеские отношения.
Все отношения восстановились, и торговочные, и переговорочные, и всякие. Так что, в принципе, все хорошо сложилось на сегодняшний день. Проблем с Казахстаном нету.
We expect the year 2022 to be an even bigger year of growth. We plan to hold events in many areas that are not connected with traditional markets, for example, oil and so on. For example, wheat and other export products of Georgia and Kazakhstan are not yet realized either in Georgia or in Kazakhstan. So we really want Georgia, in addition to mineral and alcoholic beverages, to increase the export of other products.
Грузии и Казахстана пока не представлены ни в Грузии, ни в Казахстане, так что мы очень хотим, что из Грузии, кроме минеральных и алкогольных напиток, превысилось экспорт других продукций.
Kazakhstan is preparing for the transition to a green economy. The main steps in this direction are already being taken. It is expected that soon 50 industrial enterprises, which are the main pollutants, will reduce their negative impact on the environment. The transition mechanism is already provided for in the Environmental Code, which entered into force recently. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan occupies the 33rd place out of 115 in the city pollution ranking by states. The index of our country is 73.4. Cameroon, Mongolia and Myanmar are on the top of the ranking. Finland has the best indicator in the world with an index of 12.1. Among the CIS countries, Azerbaijan is higher by a level. Moldova, Ukraine, Russia, Armenia and Belarus hold lower positions. Industrial facilities of the energy sector, mining and metallurgical complex, cement and chemical industries of the country will be the first to switch to the principles of BAT. National reference books are being developed for the transition to these technologies. There will be 16 of them in total. This is done by a special bureau at the International Center for Green Technologies and Innovative Projects.
После разработки справочников, национальных справочников,
After the development of reference books, national reference books, enterprises of the first category, the main pollutants will be able to receive a comprehensive environmental permit, and accordingly, with the accompanying draft law of the tax code from 2025 will be exempt from paying for environmental pollution. Transition to best available technologies means modernization, automation of all technological processes, re-equipment. Enterprises are becoming transparent to the state and society. In general, this leads to a comprehensive reduction of the negative impact on the environment, including on public health.
Снижению негативного воздействия на окружающую среду и в том числе на здоровье населения.
Average daily results of air pollution by enterprises, excess concentration of harmful substances, and in general, information about the environmental situation in the country, all this is placed on the interactive map. Its developer is the Association of Environmental Organizations of the country.
Виден будет мониторинг в режиме реального времени. Мы опять говорим только о крупных промышленных предприятиях, не говорим о всей стране пока. Мы надеемся, что...
Real-time monitoring is available. We are talking only about large industrial enterprises. We are not talking about the whole country yet. We hope that this will be some kind of interactive map, more informative, that's more recent, when it will be possible to track. This is also such an important tool for the authorized regulatory body, but it will also be such a good tool for conducting public monitoring and control for the public within the public control.
Ну и для общественности, в рамках общественного контроля, это тоже будет таким хорошим инструментом для ведения общественного мониторинга и контроля.
The map is publicly available on the association's website. Every resident can leave their complaints, comments, or suggestions about the environmental problem and the situation in their city, village, or region as a whole. The daily coronavirus incidence rate has decreased in Kazakhstan again. Over the past day, 2,498 COVID-19 patients were registered in the regions of the country. In general, since the beginning of the pandemic, the number of coronavirus cases detected in the country has exceeded 1,285,000. Incidentally, 8 regions of the country remain in the red zone. These are the cities of Nur-Sultan and Almaty, as well as Akmola, West Kazakhstan, Karagandy, Kostanay, Pavlodar, and North Kazakhstan regions. The situation is slightly better in Almaty, Aktobe, Atyrau, and East Kazakhstan regions. The rest of the regions are in the safe green zone. The population vaccination campaign continues in Kazakhstan. To date, more than 8,855,000 people have already been vaccinated with 2 components of coronavirus drugs. The truckers' protests in Canada can lead to serious economic consequences, analysts say. In addition to the blockade of the country's capital, drivers blocked the border bridge that connects the Canadian province of Ontario with the U.S. state of Michigan. This is the busiest land connection for trade between the two countries. The participants of the so-called Freedom Convoy demand not only the abolition of mandatory vaccination and quarantine for truckers, but also the resignation of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
The consequences of these actions are having dire impacts. They're impacting trade, they're hurting jobs, they're threatening our economy. But Canadians also know that the way through this pandemic is by listening to science, is by following public health advice, and indeed by getting vaccinated.
Those who come for vaccination will be able to enjoy a live performance of classical arias. A mobile vaccination center has opened at the Munich Opera House. The halls and dressing rooms are crowded. Mass immunization against coronavirus in Germany started in December 2020. To date, over 73% of Germans have received 2 components of the drug. More than 54% of people received a booster dose. I needed to be revaccinated a long time ago. I received the 2nd component of the vaccine in the summer, but almost after that I got sick with coronavirus and had to wait 3 months to get a booster dose. There is a wonderful atmosphere. I really like to be here. The Spanish Coast Guard saved 215 illegal migrants from death. People from African countries tried to cross the Atlantic Ocean on 4 boats. Rescuers took them to the port of Arguineguín on the Canary Islands. There are many women and children among the refugees. This is the famous route for migrants who want to get to Europe. Last year, more than 22,000 people arrived in the Canary Islands. Hundreds of migrants are drowning in the sea while trying to reach Spanish shores. In total, 4,400 migrants died, 205 of them minors. The creation of a special economic zone, Turan, in Turkestan was discussed at the Council of Elders of the Organization of Turkic States. Ikram Aderbekov, a member of the organization from Kazakhstan, expressed support for the initiative of President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev to locate the headquarters of the Turkic Investment and Integration Fund on the site of the Astana International Financial Center. Elders of the member states take part in the meeting of the Council of Elders in Istanbul. The implementation of the concept document Prospects of the Turkic World 2040 was discussed at the meeting. It is aimed at further strengthening cooperation between the Turkic states.
Мемлекет басшыларының шешімімен ақсақалдар кеңесі бүгінгі күні жұмысын жандандырып отыр.
By the decision of the heads of state, the Council of Elders resumed its work. The main goal is to present the implementation of the measures taken at the summit, and proposals will be made on it, including on the development of Turkestan as the spiritual capital of the Turkic world.
Түркі әлемінің рухани орталығы астанасы ретінде шешімнің ары қарай соны дамыту, соны түркі әлеміне таныстыру, осы бағытта бір нәтижелі жұмыстар атқару.
3 Kazakh films will be presented at the 72nd Berlinale Film Festival in Germany. The film Akın by Darijan Umirbayev will participate in the forum section. The panorama section included the film Bakı, directed by Askar Uzabayev, and Farhad Sharipov's film Scheme was selected for the generation section. Just in 10 days, 256 films from 69 countries will be presented at the Berlinale.
Ja, es ist sehr schön, dass die Kultur.
It's great that movie premieres can again be watched on big screens. The industry has been hit hard by the pandemic. Finally, you can see this event with your own eyes, and filmmakers can again present their works for us. And this, of course, is very precious.
Kulturschaffende wieder die Möglichkeit haben.